Riyadus Saliheen Chapter 256, Some cases where it is permissible to backbite. Backbiting is permissible only for valid reasons approved by Sharia. These reasons are as follows. 1. It is permissible for an oppressed person to speak before the judge, or someone in a similar position of authority to help him, or her establish his or her rights by telling him so and so wronged me, and has done such and such to me, etc. 2. It is permissible to seek somebody's assistance in forbidding evil, and helping someone change his or her immoral conduct. One can say to the person who can offer such assistance, so and so does such and such evil deeds. Can you exhort him, etc. This is permissible as long as one intends to forbid evil. If, however, one intends something else apart from this, then this act becomes unlawful. 3. One who seeks legal verdict on a certain matter may point out the defaults of another person or relate something else. One in this case can say to the mufti, religious scholar who issues verdicts, my father or brother, for example, treated me unjustly. Can I get my right established, etc. This is permissible to say only if need be, but it is better to say what do you think of someone who did such and such. This does not mean, however, that naming the person in question is not permissible. Hadith number 1535 makes this point clear. 4. One who criticizes those who openly commit acts of disobedience, such as drinking wine, gambling, engaging in immoral habits, fornication, hypocrisy, and making mischief. 5. It is permissible to call into question the narrators of hadith, and witnesses in the court when the need arises. It is also permissible to mention the bad qualities of somebody for marriage purposes in case an advice is sought. Also, if one has noticed that a seeker of knowledge frequently goes to the gatherings of an innovator in religion and one fears that this seeker of knowledge may be affected by this so-called scholar, then he must in this case give counsel to the seeker of knowledge by telling him about the innovator, etc. 6. It is permissible to use names such as Al-Amash, which means the blear-eyed, to talk about people who are known by such names for the sake of identification and not for disparaging people and underestimating them. To identify them without resorting to such names is however better. Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, said, a man sought permission for audience with the Prophet, peace be upon him. He said, give him permission, but he is a bad member of his tribe. Reported in Sahih al-Bukhari and Muslim. Commentary: Imam al-Bukhari has obviously justified the backbiting of wicked people to save people from being deceived from their appearance. If people are not informed of the real conduct of such persons, their religious as well as worldly life will be exposed to a grave danger. For this reason, the backbiting of wicked persons for the purpose of warning others is permissible. Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, said, the Messenger of Allah, Pbuh, said, I do not think that so and so understands anything of our faith. Reported in Sahih al-Bukhari. Al-Bukhari said, Al-Layth bin Sa'd, who is one of the narrators of this hadith, said, the two men mentioned by the Prophet, peace be upon him, in this hadith were hypocrites, means, they revealed faith and concealed disbelief. Commentary: hypocrites are also people of mischievous and doubtful conduct. It is, therefore, not only permissible but necessary to make people aware of their real position so that people become cautious about them and their religious and worldly life may remain safe from their machinations. Fatima bint Qais, may Allah be pleased with her, said, I came to the Prophet, peace be upon him, and said to him, Muawiyah and Al-Imam sent me a proposal of marriage. The Messenger of Allah, peace be upon him, said, Muawiyah is destitute and he has no property, and Al-Imam is very hard on women. Reported in Sahih al-Bukhari and Muslim. Commentary: We learn from this hadith that it is permissible to mention the true facts, virtues, and vices without equivocation, about the parties who intend to enter into wedlock provided one does it for their welfare. Zayd bin al-Arqam, may Allah be pleased with him, said, "We set out on a journey along with the Messenger of Allah peace be upon him, and we faced many hardships. Abdullah bin Ubay, the chief of the hypocrites at Al-Madinah, said to his friends, 'Do not spend on those who are with the Messenger of Allah peace be upon him until they desert him.' He also said, 'If we return to Al-Madinah, the more honorable, meaning himself, means, Abdullah bin Ubay, will drive out there from the meaner, meaning Messenger of Allah peace be upon him. I went to the Messenger of Allah peace be upon him and informed him about that, and he sent someone to Abdullah bin Ubay. He asked him whether he had said that or not. Abdullah took an oath that he had not done anything of that sort and said that it was Zayd who carried a false tale to the Messenger of Allah peace be upon him. Zayd said, 'I was so much perturbed because of this until this verse was revealed verifying my statement. When the hypocrites come to you, O Muhammad peace be upon him, they say, we bear witness that you are indeed the Messenger of Allah. Allah knows that you are indeed his messenger, and Allah bears witness that the hypocrites are liars indeed.' Surah 63 verse 1, Then the Messenger of Allah peace be upon him called the hypocrites in order to seek forgiveness for them from Allah, but they turned away their heads. Reported in Sahih al-Bukhari and Muslim. Commentary, Abdullah bin Ubay was the chief of the hypocrites at Al-Madinah. In the journey mentioned in this hadith, which was undertaken in connection with the war with Banu al-Mustalik, he had used improper words against the Prophet peace be upon him and Muslims, which were overheard by Zayd bin al-Arqam, may Allah be pleased with him. The latter informed the Prophet peace be upon him about this occurrence. This incident goes to prove that exposing the designs and conspiracies of hypocrites does not form backbiting. In fact, it is essential to keep people informed about them in the interest of Islam and Muslims. Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, said, Hind, the wife of Abu Sufyan, said to the Prophet peace be upon him, Abu Sufyan is a niggardly man, and does not give me and my children adequate provisions for maintenance, unless I take something from his possession without his knowledge. The Prophet peace be upon him said to her, Take from his possessions on a reasonable basis that much which may suffice for you and your children. Reported in Sahih al-Bukhari and Muslim. Commentary, Hind was the mother of Muawiyah, may Allah be pleased with him. Along with her husband, Abu Sufyan, she embraced Islam in the year of conquest of Makkah. We learn from this hadith that 1. In order to know religious injunctions, husband and wife can mention each other's shortcomings before a mufti, a religious scholar who is in a position to issue verdicts on religious matters. 2. If a husband does not give his wife enough money to cover the domestic expenses, then it is permissible for his wife to take some of his money without his permission, provided the amount thus taken is for essential expenses, not for superfluous matters. Ya Habib, salam alayka.